Hey, what's up? It's Jared with State of Tech. Today we're going to review some cases for the Galaxy S21 Ultra. Now, this phone is absolutely fantastic. I love it. I think it's the best Galaxy phone that has come out in a long time. And I'll talk about that more in other videos, so make sure to subscribe to the channel here. But today we're going to talk about cases for this phone. Cases are pretty important for most phones, especially to me, because I want to protect my phones. They're very expensive pieces of technology. They're in and out of my pockets. They're sliding across tables. Sometimes my kids are even using them, so I need to protect my phones. And cases are important, and the aesthetics of those cases are important to me as well. So today we're going to take a look at 7 cases that are common cases, common brands that you find on Amazon, maybe even in the stores, and I'm going to talk about them. We're going to try them on, and this video may be a little bit longer, but I'm giving you a look at all of the different cases, and I also have a link down in the description so you could jump around between the different cases if you're more interested in one than the other. Now, since we have it on the phone already, we're going to take a look at the Spec Presidio grip. This is the Presidio Grip 2, or Presidio 2 grip, I guess is what they're calling it. This case has been around forever. They've been making this case for as long as I could remember, and it's always been one of my favorite cases. The main reason is that it's a nice slim style case, and it has a grippiness to it. Now, the grip is nice because if this phone is sitting on something, it's less likely to slip off of it and fall than a lot of other cases. They also do a fantastic job of just contouring around every aesthetic of the phone. The buttons are always great. It has a little bit of screen protection by raising the top and the bottom of the case here with slightly raised edges on the side. Of course, the S21 having less of a rounded display or a curved display on the edges, that doesn't have to be as crazy as it used to be in the past. So this particular case just fits really well and is just a beautiful case for this phone. I will not lie, this is the case that I have been using the most, but there are some great cases for and they perform in different ways as we continue to look through these other cases that I've been trialing out over the past couple of weeks here. So let's go ahead and pull off the Spec Presidio case. This grip case is just, I love it, and they've continued to get better over time. There's also a lot of ridges on the inside for shock protection, and there's spaces in there, which means that it's less force that's going to hit your phone if you do drop it. I've just always been really impressed with that case. Now, the next case is from Clayco. This is the case that I was using on the phone first because I actually received this case before I received the phone. And it is a 2-piece case. As you can see here, it comes apart. It has a clear face, which I liked because the phone doesn't come with a screen protector on it. Galaxy phones and the Note, and they've come with screen protectors over the last little while, and this phone does not have a screen protector. Now, I'll tell you why here in a second, but I'm going to pop the phone in this case, and then we'll go ahead and slide it into its outer rubber portion here and get all the edges snapped in. Very nice. It does look pretty good. It's not my favorite case. It has a little bit more going on in the design that I like. I'm a very simple person. I want things just to be nice and clean, but it does have appropriate port access, and I mean, everything is really good. I do like the kind of knurling on the button here. Makes it easy to differentiate this button from the volume since they're all on the same side. Now, here's the caveat. You have this hole essentially in the middle of your case here, which is still protected, but it's not, it's very visible. And so when you're using your fingerprint, you have this like circle cut out on the case, and it is kind of hard to see. I'm trying, up there it is, I could show you even though you're getting big time reflections. This hole here is definitely not aesthetically pleasing to me. Now, I have found that in order for the fingerprint reader to work as it's been advertised, as much better than the previous year's models, you're going to have this cutout there. Even if you go with a standard screen protector, a standard screen protector is only going to work good if you have that cutout thing in the middle, whatever it is. It does look like it's still protecting the screen in that area, but to me it just doesn't look good. You're taking this beautiful phone, this really nice phone, well designed, just beautiful to look at, and you look at the screen, which is best screens on the market. You know, people won't even argue with that. Samsung has the best displays, but then you have this like cutout in the middle here. They're not really a cutout, but it does appear as a cutout, and I'm not a fan of it. So with this case, I mean, I am glad that it has a screen protector. I love that. And the fingerprint reader is very responsive with this little kind of cutout spot, or this more transparent spot, whatever it is. It does work just as good as without the case being on the phone at all. But at the same time, it's just not very attractive to me, and yeah, so I don't like it for that reason. But the case is still a great case, and very inexpensive. Make sure to check the links out in the description below. You can see the pricing. All these cases typically come in different color options as well. I'm just showing you the color that I gravitate towards, which of course is darker colors. So this case is interesting to me because it's kind of beefy, has more of a durable look, and it also comes with this little lanyard, which is interesting to me. You know, we're using our phones as cameras, you know, almost more than anything else these days. And so sometimes it makes sense to have a little something like this. You know, you put your phone in your pocket, you've got this kind of hanging out. It helps you maybe better access the phone. It also acts as a grip. So if you are somewhere, perhaps like at a kid's sport game, I do think this is weird. Like, this should be on the bottom, in my opinion, because I would hold it like this, I guess, and then I'm having a hard time getting my hand down here. So this part is kind of a bummer. I guess this would be perfect for a left-handed person, but you know, when you're on the go and you're taking pictures, you don't want to drop your phone. And so having this is actually really nice. And as you can see here, I could put quite a bit of pressure on this and it's not causing me any issues. So I do like that about this case. The rest of the case I'm okay with. It's not my favorite design, but it does have a nice look to it. Very industrial looking, plenty of protection around all of the edges. Probably the most protection out of all of these cases on the actual screen. We've got raised edges all the way around the case, even more pronounced edges on the top and the bottom. And so that's going to give us just a lot of protection face down when our phone is face down than some of the other cases. So I do really like that. This case is from VRS Design, and it is a nice case. They have some interesting cases too. They sent me a few cases to check out, and they have a variety of different cases, and this is their black carbon case, so make sure to check that one out. Links are in the description below. Let's move on to iBlazin, I think, LLC. This is the Galaxy S21. Oh, this is a Plus case. That's not even going to fit this phone. So sometimes I do get sent cases that are not the appropriate size for the phone, and this one obviously is not for the Ultra. But I'm still going to talk about it because they produce a ton of cases and the case quality is good and the price is really good as well. This is another two-piece case that comes apart, but it doesn't have a face to it, a screen protector to it, like the other case that we looked at. So what I like about this is that it does provide a lot of protection all the way around because it is a case that has a frame that you set your phone in. I don't even know if this probably isn't even going to fit. Yeah, it's not going to fit because it's the wrong phone. But it is a frame that goes around the phone, and then that goes into this rubber bumper that also has a backing on it and also has kind of port protectors that just sit over the ports to protect them. And so it is a good case, and they make it for all versions of pretty much all phones. This is their Ares Black, A-R-E-S Black. I'll make sure to link up the correct version down in the description below so that you could check it out. You know, I don't think that I have this version of the case for the Ultra, but I have used that case on many phones in the past. Now, we're going to move over to TORRES. TORRES, this case is going to be a slim look case, very slim around the phone for those of you that want a case on your phone but don't want a whole lot of case. Then this is going to be a good option for you. I love their cases because they're simple, especially their ultra slim cases. I mean, there is not much to this case, which I like, so it is not going to add much bulk to our phone. As you can see, they take advantage of, you know, around the camera module here. Looks good. There's raised edge all the way around that. The case sits flat, which I like. I should have shown that comparison on the other phone cases as well. Some cases sit really flat and other cases rock a little bit. And most cases these days do sit pretty flat. So what I like is just how slim this is. If you're wanting a case that isn't going to obscure your screen or really even take away from the experience, like this is a good one because it doesn't have raised edges on the sides that go as high as the screen. So what's nice about that is that you're still getting that edge, you know, viewing angle from your phone with this case on it, whereas a lot of other cases with a little bit of a raised edge, you're not getting all of that kind of edge-to-edge viewing angle. So if you were holding your phone at a little bit more of an angle, the case would start to cut off some of that viewing area. So, but that might not be an issue. What I do really love about this case is just how simple it is. I mean, it is a very smooth case, so it's not going to provide really any grippiness. It does feel good in the hand because it doesn't add much to the phone. It kind of builds on the natural angles of the phone, which I like, so it doesn't make the phone feel much different. It just makes the phone feel a little bit bigger, and I do feel more secure, being that, you know, when the phone's sitting down on a table, it's not going to get scratched up. It does have a little bit of raised edges on the top and the bottom, so there is some face down protection. There just isn't any side protection on this case. So this TORRES case, very nice. I don't, some of these cases don't even have a name. This is just the TORRES Shockproof Case Matte Black, and I'll make sure to link it up in the description below so you can check it out. So UAG is, they design some awesome cases. I love their cases and typically have had a version of this particular case for almost every single phone. This is the Urban Armor Gear case, UAG, but this is the civilian series of the case. And the civilian series of the case just has a nice kind of simple but military grade look to it. You know, it's not over the top like some of their other cases that have, you know, pronounced details on them and maybe look very industrial or very military looking. But what I like about this case is that it does add a little bit of bulk to the phone, giving it a nice grip. I like the fact that it's rounded down here, but not so much right here, so I do feel a little bit more secure holding the phone with this case. The buttons are very responsive and easy to access, and you can feel the difference between the buttons, so you're not having to look. You know, you could feel just because of the two little notches that this is the power button or the off button. And I do like that. There's, you know, good access to the ports. This area right here is kind of chamfered in a little bit, so you don't have to try and finagle your charging cord all the way in there. I like how they recess that a little bit. Overall, I do just really like this case. It sits nice and flat. I like the orange accents. Of course, they have different colors of this case as well, and you can check that out by visiting the link down below. So UAG, you know, they make some nice burly cases that are just going to provide a lot of protection all the way around the phone. It does add a bit to the phone, but at the same time, I feel really secure using this case. If I had to choose so far between the two cases, I would say the Spec case and the UAG case are like a neck and neck tie. It just depends on what I'm going for. I like the grippiness of the Spec case and the fact that it's a little bit more of a slim case, but I like the more industrial, masculine look of this case and how it feels in the hand. I feel a little bit more secure even with this case in my hand because it's just a little bit beefier. It also has more like kind of larger raised edges around the case as well, so you're going to get a little bit more protection face down than you would than some of the other cases. So I do like that a lot about this case. Now I have one case that I'm going to look at last but not least here. It is the Cosmo case, also from iBlazin, and this case is definitely not going to be a style or design for me, but I'm including it here because they make some cases with some interesting styles and designs to them, and not every person that buys a Galaxy phone, or any phone for that matter, is wanting something as masculine or whatever as me. And so they have a lot of cases with really neat and you know, kind of beautiful designs. It has that same two-piece construction as their last case that we looked at. It's basically the same case as what we had previously looked at, except this is their Cosmo series, which means it's you know, they come with nice designs and different styles and whatnot. So you put the phone in the frame, slide it into the case, and just get it locked in there really nice, and just make sure that all the edges are in there. And then you also peel off this back protective film, and now you've got your phone in a nice stylish case. And then of course this sticker here that tells you how to remove the frame from the case. So what I like about this is it is a nice case. It has good protection on the top and the bottom without the sides being too obtrusive, as you can see, or intrusive, and it has good protection around the camera bump. A lot of different styles and designs that this case comes in, so you'll definitely want to make sure and check out the link below. It has kind of a silicone feel to it, so unlike the other cases where most of them felt kind of plasticky and maybe even a little slick, this one does have that silicone feel to it, so that also is going to provide a little bit of grippiness and prevent it from slipping around nearly as much as some of these other cases. So if you're looking for a case that has different designs and stuff, I mean, this particular brand and their Cosmo series has a lot of different options for you. So that's going to do it at my case video, looking at different cases for the Galaxy S21 Ultra. Keep in mind that all of these cases are available for all the Galaxy phones. They're also available for other versions of phones as well. So even if you move out into the future, or you have an older phone and you're not yet upgrading, there are options for you there as well. So thanks for checking out this video. Links are down in the description below, and I appreciate you being here and watching it. Give it a thumbs up if this video was helpful for you. Click on that subscribe button so you could be notified when we put out new videos. But that's going to do it for today. Thanks so much, and I'll see you back in the next one.